What's up, guys? It's Ray. I'm back. So today I got another JOYTOY Warhammer 40K collection video for you, and this time it's going to be on the Astra Militarum, specifically Cadian forces. They have some awesome vehicles. They have some awesome artillery. We're going to go through them all. Death Korps of Krieg. They don't have any vehicles, but they have a bunch of figures, so we're going to go through them also. We'll give you the specifics. You might even learn something. We also have, at the very end, we have a diorama piece. All right, guys, let's get going. All right, guys, I'm back. So let's get right into it. We're going to start reviewing all of the Astra Militarum vehicles and gun emplacements first. So this one is the Cadian Armored Sentinel. Now, as you can see from the front of the box, comes with one figure and shares a very strong likeness to the Star Wars AT-ST. And that is where the similarities end, my friend. This Walker is essentially way better than the AT-ST. The construction of this vehicle, from what JOYTOY did with this, is great. They actually have everything you see on the inside of that cockpit there is sculpted. So all of the buttons and everything that we saw, that was sculpted as well. Now these legs are on a type of ratcheting system, as well as they actually are quite sturdy. Even with the way that the legs are bent, it's actually a pretty sturdy system with what they have set up, and it's very, very identical to how the miniature that you would see is, as well as other pictures and any kind of art. Now the only thing I'll say is on the side here we had that box, and unfortunately the top didn't come off and it didn't open up, but it does have a whole bunch of other stuff on here. We have an opening door, we have opening top, we have an opening top piece to the top, so you can get the figure in a lot easier, right? We can just sit him on the top through the top hat, or the top door essentially, which is opening up. The vehicle has a plasma cannon, has a massive missile on the right, and the plasma cannon moves up and down. It doesn't move left to right, but it does move up and down, which is nice. Now we're looking at the single figure that comes with this, the pilot of the Cadian Armored Sentinel. Comes with a bolter pistol. He comes with his multitude of hands, which we know all of the JOYTOY figures very much for. Figure's very good. No problems with any of the joints. No problems with sticking joints, which is one of the problems I had on some of the earlier medium figures, where we'd have a frozen joint on the inside of the body. You turn it and you're literally just turning the joint. You're not actually turning anything else, and just winds up ripping the joint off. As you can see, the hand goes flying off there. The hands don't have a problem sitting on. It's just they come off with a little bit of pressure, which is fine, and it makes it easier. Having this in my hand, I will say, I originally, when you first get it out and you have it, it's a little light, but once you like mess around with it, it actually has a pretty good amount of weight to it. It's quite solid. I actually really like it. This is I was surprised at how much I like this vehicle overall. It's really good. It might be a little hollow, but the construction on it is extremely solid, and the paint apps, oh man, with the dry brushing and everything, is just absolutely great. A+ on the Cadian Armored Sentinel. So now we're jumping over to the Ordnance team, the Malleus rocket launcher team. Now this one comes with 3 figures, as you see from the picture on the front, and also on the back side. Each of the 3 figures that it comes with also has a bit more equipment than the last driver of the actual vehicle. So it's actually pretty cool. It comes with a lot more stuff. So here we go. We're going to do an unboxing here so you guys can see actually what the Malleus rocket launcher comes with as far as the figures itself. So it's pretty cool. And here we go with the 3 figures out. And again, it comes with all of everything from JOYTOY that you get, especially the figures and the vehicles come in this nice clam shell white see-through. Everything is secured in there, and you don't have anything strapped down a la McFarlane, where you literally need like a pair of wire cutters to get your item, vehicle, or figure out of the box. So it's a nice welcome change. So again, this time we have the Malleus rocket launcher. It has 6 on each side of these rocket launchers. The great job with the paint great job with the overall sculpt of this vehicle, or the trail piece that it's being hooked, dragged by into each independent position that's going to. The little arms that, or the portions that swivel down, they actually don't swivel down. It's just there for show. There's nothing that actually swirls down like it's inside of a screw or something. It just goes down, it goes up, it turns just for effect. So you're not going to get that portion of it, which is fine. It's another breaking point. Again, the same thing from the front. The front piece, actually, the turning piece comes off if you want. And again, it turns independently, but it's not actually on a screw. So you can just pull it up, pull it down, and so you can have it kind of situated where it's being dropped off and it's nice and steady, and it's not going to move essentially. So, and the wheels are independently turning, so you can actually, if it was ever hooked up to anything, I'm trying to think of any vehicle. There's really no vehicle that I could think of that would have came with something where a tow hook where you'd be able to tow this into. That is a piece right there on the bottom. I didn't realize at the time. It actually goes underneath. That's for the seat. And I'm just showing you how the pieces close up. Wheels independently spin. And again, what's really nice about all of these pieces from JOYTOY, anything that you see as far as like a screen, it's actually sculpted on there. So it works really great. It looks great. There's no stickers. There's nothing that's going to peel off over time. It's quite nice, and it's very faithful to the miniature that you would have painted or you would normally see. And again, we got one of the figures in there. At this time, I didn't realize that's the bottom portion of the seat, which goes in there, and I just throw it away. I'll get it on the next one, don't worry. But again, you can see it comes with 2 of the rockets. Unfortunately, these rockets don't fit in the missile launchers. They just kind of like, there's actually a plastic piece, as you can see there, which stops it from going in. But again, on each side it has 6 of these tubes, and it's nice that it actually came with 2 of the rockets, so you can essentially set up your guys like as if they're loading the rockets for you. So it's pretty cool. And again, we have essentially the 3-man team. So we have the loader, we have the guy who's communicating where it goes, and or the spotter, and then also the guy who's operating the actual cannon itself. And there are some unique sculpts here. These are figures that aren't the same across the board, that you can get this guy with the mask on other as a single release. These are specific to them, and they actually have a patch on their, I think it's their left shoulder. Yeah, it's their left shoulder, and it says, it signifies the team that they're part of, and I think this one is number 6. So it's essentially the shooting team 6. And again, one cool thing, and again, I'm sure everybody has the same thing. We have tons and tons of hands, but these figures do come also with some of the tools and some extra stuff to keep these things up and running, which is pretty cool. And each of those wrenches or hammers also actually fits on the character themselves, which you'll see here in a little bit. You'll be able to stick it into like a pocket that they have, which is pretty cool. And again, the armaments that it comes with, so you have a las rifle here. We have a repeater las rifle, or heavier las rifle, because it has the adjustable stock on the backside. And then we have that's the pistol grip las rifle. We also have a pair of binoculars, which goes with the commander. And then I don't know what that is supposed to be. I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of satchel with either parts to repair or any kind of a plastic explosive or explosives. So again, we got him with the las rifle. I believe that's the pistol grip. And we have the heavy, and we have the commander all set up, or the spotter essentially. So it's really cool. It's compared to the last one with the Armored Sentinel. He just came with a bolter pistol. All of these guys come with full gear. So they come out with everything on there. And it makes sense too, because outside of them dragging this thing around, you'd think like the Astra Militarum Cadian forces would have to engage, especially the Tyranids that would run up on them. They would find where their position would be. Eventually, these guys would have to have some sort of close combat, or at least something where they would need a las rifle for. So, And again, we have the pistol grip las rifle here, going right into the hand. And yep. One thing that is true with some of these figures that you're going to see is these are some of the not super early figures, but nothing that's really recent. These have been, I think these Cadian figures have been out at least a year and a half, 2 years. And so some of the hands are a bit stiff to get the weapons in. So it takes a little bit. I would recommend taking a hair dryer or some type of heating tool to heat up the hands to make it easier to get the weapons in. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling with some of the, this is the larger repeater rifle. So I'm kind of struggling with getting into his hand. I eventually get it, and it's not an easy thing when you're doing these type of reviews to do it. But if I would have heated it up the figures, it would have made a world of difference. But I got them on, so it's good to go. And then as you can see, I got some of the tools on each of the tool belts around their waists. You can fit everything that comes with these guys on them outside of their extra multitude of hands, which goes without saying. So, yep, and then we're going with the next ordnance team. This is the Bombast field gun. This is a large howitzer type of gun. And it's very similar to the last one, the Malleus rocket launcher, as far as the setup of what the dragging piece or the piece that's being dragged into battle. It's very similar. Figures are different. They are different sculpt. They also have a different team on their left shoulder or right shoulder, and there's the large howitzer cannon. It's pretty cool. Again, all of the effects on these guns look awesome. I'm very impressed with just the overall look and appeal, especially coming from where I grew up playing with G.I. Joe. These are really good figures. And so one thing I'll notice here on the howitzer, it does have a ratchet system. As you can see on the bottom of the cannon, that's where the ratchets lie. So when you're moving the cannon up and down, it's going to ratchet on each one of those so you can get it to a certain height. And again, now as you can see, I finally realized what that bottom piece for the seat is. It's supposed to go in there and it locks the seat in place. So it only took me the second one to figure this out, so that's good. But again, everything, no problem, no brakes on it. Everything was working fine. Wheels spin independently of each other. The paint job is great. The dry brushing is great. Again, it's the same exact thing as far as the trailer portion of it. Again, sculpted details on the command of the readout of the howitzer type of cannon here. You can see this opens up, which is pretty cool. And here are the large caliber shells, and you can see there it has the sign of the Imperium on there. And actually the shells load in, which the last Malleus rocket launcher did not with those rockets, so it's pretty cool. So again, these do load in there. And it's pretty cool that they actually came with them. So you can see exactly what we're working with here. But again, overall, I thought that this was pretty cool. And again, this is actually number 6. I was wrong. So number 6, you can see it's stamped on the howitzer here, or the Bombast gun. And it's also on the left shoulder of each of the figures. Yep. There's a pointing it out there. And again, it's the same thing as the Malleus ordnance team. They're going to have full gear. They're going to have full equipment for each of the figures. Everything fits on them. All of those tools are essentially the same between them. Articulation on all the figures is great. No bend, no breaks, no issues with anything falling off or any of the joints being stuck, which I had a problem with very early release on some of the Tyrannid figures and some of my Death Korps of Krieg figures, which we'll go into here in a couple minutes. So we have our collection of hands, and there's the tool sitting in the tool belt. That's pretty cool. Sculpts on these figures are great too. Across the board, again, it's not to the level of some of the miniature painting that you could throw at these things because they're so tiny, but for what these are, how big they are compared to the miniatures, how much detail is on these is quite impressive. And I'm a fan of and a collector of Mythic Legions, so these really are really good figures. And so we get the same thing, the heavy repeater. The one above it is the one with the pistol grip, or this one is with the pistol grip, and the other one is the standard rifle stock on the end. And actually I was surprised that the stock actually fits into the guy's hand, and the pistol grip also fits, as well as the heavy las rifle as well. So, and here we go with the commander, same thing. He's got the binoculars. We're trying to get the pistol grip again. Same thing with the hands. If I would have heated up the hands here, it would have made things a lot easier for me. So if you're getting some of these figures that are the first or second run of these figures from the original time that they came out, just throwing a little bit of heat on them is going to make a world of difference. So here we go with the satchel around one of the other guys, and I'm putting the heavy repeater las in his hand. Really cool. I'm really happy I picked up these Cadian figures. This gets my GI Joe and US military thing out of my system with having these figures. So it's pretty cool. And again, no problems with the figures. Great sculpts, nothing broken. And here we go. We're all kitted out. Now all I need is something to tow this thing into place, because there's no motor obviously on them, and these are supposed to be towed. So we need an Astra Militarum, something to tow. So here we go. These are the individual figures. This is the Cadian command squad. This is the veteran with the power fist. It's pretty awesome. And he also has a stogie in his mouth. They did such a good job with that. It actually looks like it's burning. So we got the power pack, which powers his power fist. One of the straps, one of the web gear didn't, it kind of pops off. This is probably one of the only problems that I had with the figures. And I know that another Crusty Old Crow had the same problem, I think, with the same figure. So again, it's not broken, but it just doesn't sit directly on there, pegged in correctly. So I'm sure I could do some stuff with it to make it work. So it's always sitting there. But again, even with it popping out, it's not a problem. Power pack is all. It's actually really cool seeing the power fist on a normal human being instead of just a space marine. I didn't know that there was a power fist for that, so it's cool. And again, we go next one. So this is going to be, actually, this is such a good sculpt. This is your communications officer or soldier with their VOX system. And one thing that's hysterical is he has like all this sophisticated stuff, and then he has a readout on there of paper. And that's for if communication break down, they can actually still send the or receive the orders of wherever they're supposed to go. This is such a cool figure. I was very surprised at how much I like this one. Such a great sculpt on the figure. I'm sure the miniature is just as great, just as impressive. He has a helmet that actually comes with him too if you want to attach it to his back of his backpack, which is pretty cool. Comes with a bolter pistol, and he comes with this couple different sets of hands as well. The open hands are really good for him, especially with him having this huge contraption for the communications. So, and here we go. We go into the next one. This is the Regiment Standard. This is a huge flag. This is the largest flag banner that I have seen with any of the JOYTOY figures. It's big, beefy. It has a lot of sculpt to it. Like, this is not a flimsy banner flag at all. And none of JOYTOY's banners or flags are, but the amount of sculpting on this, oh boy, this thing is really nice. And it has so much weight to it. It actually needs that extra clear holder on there, and as you can see, there's so much top heavy weight you need the figure on the stand to actually hold the banner in place. It's actually pretty cool. This guy also comes with an extra las rifle for his back, So I guess if he's running around and his buddy's need another las rifle, here's his extra las rifle. So he's got one with the pistol grip, one with the standard rifle grip or rifle stock. He also has this monster sized knife on his back, which is pretty cool. And it slots right in there. Again, all these figures are great. I don't know if it's coming through, but the sculpts on all of them are great. And again, each of their equipment outside of the hands fits on this figure. This guy is holding 2 rifles. And like I said, the really cool thing about all of these JOYTOY Astra Militarum figures is you can get all of their equipment on them, either holding it or equipped on them totally. This guy also comes with a very unique hand to him, so he can get his hand around that huge banner pole. And again, great figure. All of the articulation is solid. Great paintwork. Awesome. And again, now here we're jumping over to the commander with power sword. This is actually really cool because I wasn't aware that normal humans can use power weapons, but obviously they can because we have the power fist. Now we have the commander with the power sword, and he comes with a bolter pistol. He comes with a removable helmet. He also comes with a very unique head sculpt. Comes with the power sword, which is attached to his wrist, and it's attached back to, I would assume, his power pack, just like how the power fist is. So again, very nice pliable plastic. He can also stretch his leg out to a certain amount. And great, he has his toe articulation. Great figure. He has his bolter pistol attached to his waist, as well as he has the nice golden symbol of the Imperium on his chest. Great figure. Overall, very good. Very impressed with it. You can fit his helmet on his head. It looks a little weird, but you can definitely get it on there. And it fits fine, but it looks a little goofy on him. But overall, very good figure. Now we're moving over to the, essentially, the medic pack, or the medic of the Astra Militarum, the Cadian forces. And he has his bone saw sitting there. He also comes with, again, 2 las rifles. He comes with the normal las rifle with the stock rifle, and he also comes with the pistol grip. He has a ton of equipment on him. All of this was actually already on him. I didn't have to put any of it on him. He has a ton of leather straps, so he's got all his equipment. You can see his extra las rifle fits in his backpack. Great figure. Again, on the backpack, tons of sculpt, tons of stuff. As you can see, his bone saw also fits on his backpack, so he can have that if he needs to chop off somebody's limb into the battle. It's right there. He also got a shoulder pad, which signifies him as a medic in the field of combat. He's got a nice head sculpt, very unique for him. He also got a little mask over the front of his mouth. Great figure. Overall, I'm very happy with all the Astra Militarum Cadian forces. Now we're moving to the Death Korps of Krieg, our trench warfare experts. And these are a little bit older figures. These are one of the first run of the Astra Militarum figures that came out. So there were some problems, but the sculpts are great on them. It signifies exactly the Death Korps of Krieg. Very much a World War I military style of figure. This is the communications expert. It's very, he has the crank on the communications key. He also comes with a satchel for him. Comes with a pistol. Great figure overall. He has his las rifle over his shoulder. Great figure. And then we come over to the veteran Guardsman medic. So this is, we saw the Astra Militarum, so we saw the Cadian medic, and now we're seeing the Kriegsman medic. He also has a bone saw or knife on his wrist. He's got some nice sculpted details on his wrist as well. He's got his rifle in his hand. He also has, this is a little interesting, it actually fits on the back. It's the administer the needle of whatever's in there. And it's actually another hand that they actually have sculpted onto there. So it's a little weird to have this sitting on his backpack because it's literally another hand. But, you know, they went for it. They have it on here. I would just keep it off the backpack until, you know, if you're going to have it in a diorama, because it's going to look a little weird. But yeah, overall, great figure. It's the same thing with all of the Kriegsmen. Very similar sculpt. very reminiscent of what their history is, of being shamed from the Kriegsman Civil War, and now they're furious fighters. On his back, you can see, I guess that's supposed to be blood that's on his back there, and also 143rd to signify that regiment, that very famous regiment. All right, now we're moving over to the Sergeant of the Kriegsman. This, along with another figure, is what you would get if you're going to army build a whole bunch of these. He comes with a bolter pistol. He also comes with a smaller chain sword, which is pretty cool. It's a little, doesn't fit completely snug. It's more of a problem with the hands, the gripping hands of these early figures. Again, the 143rd Regiment. Great figure. Next one we're going to come to is the Demolition Specialist. So again, very reminiscent of World War I with this huge plate on the front of his chest. Comes with another las rifle. It also comes with signifying the copper wire to detonate whatever explosive he's going to have. Great figure. Again, he's got his shovel attached. He's got his pliers to cut the wire. He also has a removable landmine, which is pretty cool. Good sculpt on the top of it. On the bottom, a little hollow, but I mean, it's attaching to the backpack, so it is what it is. The hats do sometimes fall off. They're not the most snug. On certain ones they are, on certain ones they aren't. All right, next one is the Veteran Krieg Guardsman. So this would be the one that you would definitely army build if you were going to army build all of these Kriegsmen. He comes with the general stuff. He has a bayonet on the end of his rifle, which is removable. He comes with his trench warfare shovel, which all of the Kriegsmen are known for. Really good figure overall. And again, I would definitely recommend him as your army builder. So next one is going to be the Flamer. So this is the flamethrower. I have to get a flame effect for the end of this one. All of the sculpts great. We got great dry brushing on here. Again, across the board, there's little differences with the sculpts, but again, it's very true to the Kriegsman aesthetic across the board. So now we're jumping over to the diorama piece I was telling you guys about. This was, I picked up this from, I think, Target about 2 years ago. And even though at the time I don't collect Star Wars figures anymore, I saw this and I immediately thought this would make a great Astra Militarum piece for a diorama setup, and I was not mistaken. This is actually really good. I think this was about 50 bucks at the time. As I run through speed assembly here, what I will say is you can definitely feel the difference in craftsmanship between after handling the JOYTOY figures and the vehicles. If JOYTOY had made this, this would be a little bit more expensive, obviously, than 50 bucks, but it would be a lot better put together. It wouldn't be as flimsy and would have a lot more effects. The paint would be great. Overall, it would have been a better piece. But overall, I would definitely recommend this if you want to grab a cheap piece. Here's the figure that came with it. I don't think I'm going to open it up. So. Alright guys, we're back. So now we got the diorama view. So this is what I was talking about before. Hopefully you guys like this too. I have a unique view here with the binoculars and also the nighttime, the nod look. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully you guys like this and it's not too annoying. So, but overall, I really like all of these figures. The Death Korps of Krieg figures I've had for a while, so to be able to break them out and do a review like this is awesome. The Astra Militarum Cadian figures are great. I love the vehicles. Hopefully JOYTOY does more of this. We got that howitzer cannon. We got the Malleus missile system over on the left. That's awesome. We also got the Cadian armored walker, which is so cool. I would have to say that's probably the star out of this entire set. And as you can see, that Endor bunker piece for diorama works great. Works really good. I'm very happy that I picked that up. Finally got a use out of it. Finally opened it up, put it together. So doing these type of collection reviews, I'm very happy doing these, and hopefully you guys enjoy them, because this is one of the reasons why I do the collecting and why I have my stuff, is to do videos like this where I can share with you guys kind of my idea when I purchased these figures or these items. Like, I wanted to put something together like this, and being able to do this is something where I put everything, you know, the plan essentially works. So hopefully you guys like this. Again, this is my way of I stopped collecting G.I. Joe Classified. This is my way of still getting my military itch, which I grew up having as a kid. And these JOYTOY Astra Militarum figures are really good. I would highly recommend you pick them up. And I know that they're actually doing a rerun on Death Korps of Krieg figures, so you could definitely take a look over at Cool Toys Club, pick them up. Link is in the description. We're actually an affiliate. If you want to support the channel, pick them up from there. All right, guys, as usual, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. All right, guys, I'm Wraith. I'm out.